श्याम श्याम हरे गोपाल कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे
Welcome everyone to Yoga Body and Mind. My name is Lois Nesbitt. I've been teaching yoga out here on the East End for more than 30 years. I also teach in New York City and around the globe. But today I'm just happy to be bringing yoga back to my home turf. My intention with this program is two things: to talk about what we do when we practice yoga, because there's many different styles and techniques out there, and then why we practice, and finally to help you to find a yoga that works for you. So there'll be 3 different formats for this series. I'll have segments that are devoted to practice, on the mat, in a chair, sometimes just in your street clothes, standing up. I'll have sessions that I call Yoga SOS, where I zoom in on specific body parts, common injuries, way to prevent and heal injuries that might have come from yoga or any other aspect of your life. And finally, little yoga talks again on the why, the ideas behind the yoga, so that hopefully you'll understand that yoga is more than cat and cow, up dog and down dog. So welcome, and let's get started. Welcome everybody to Yoga Body and Mind. My name is Lois Nesbitt, and today's focus is a practice on repetition. So yoga is a practice. It's something we do day in and day out, just like a musician would practice their scales, or an athlete would practice their pitch, their moves, whatever. So we do the same things over and over and over again. That can cause problems. When we do something repetitively, the first time you do something, it's fresh, it's new, you're all on, you're paying attention, you're engaged, you're getting new feedback, the body, mind is awake and alive. The second time you do something, a little less. And by the time you've done something 3, 4, 5, 6 times, there's nothing new anymore. Think about like your drive to work. The first day you were so nervous. How long is it going to take? Which stoplight should I take? What's the traffic like? Did I leave enough time? Second time, it's a little more usual. Third or fourth, fifth time, you don't even know that you're driving, right? You're listening to the news, you're checking, whatever. So yoga can be the same way. Habit is reassuring and stabilizing, but it can be numbing. So how do we stay green through a daily practice? First, let's look at the benefits of practice. If you repeat something, it's stabilizing. So think about what you eat for breakfast. I bet you eat the same thing every day. Or maybe you have the same kind of coffee from the same place every day at the same time. That is a way of giving your brain and body and your whole system something that's easy. It's streamlining, it's efficient. Doing something new takes energy. So there is a stabilizing effect of doing what you know. And that can be great for practice when you're traveling, the season changes, you've moved, you've taken on a new job, you just had a baby. Practice can be a refuge of what's known and familiar, and that's a sweet and wonderful thing. The second thing about practice is that it's how you notice progress. So I can pretty much promise my students, these two and everybody out there, that your down dog today does not resemble the down dog, the first one you ever did. You have gained physical ability, you've gained awareness, you've gained information about how to align the pose better. So it's a different thing. So repetition shows us progress. It shows us where we've been and where we might be going. So I'm not going to talk too much longer, but I did an Ashtanga yoga practice for many years, which is Deborah's practice. And we're in a room, and everybody does the same sequence of poses, but we all do it at our own pace. So the teacher tells Karen that she should be on this pose, but Deborah's ready for that one. So it's a silent room, and you're with these people who are either where you are, or probably a little behind you, or a little ahead of you. And it was a great way to learn, because every day I could see the people who were where I once was. I could see my own progress. and I could see the people who were further along and where I might be going. So it's a wonderful reference point to be able to gauge what we've done and where we're going. Without repetition, we have no way to measure that. So today we're going to go a little slower through practice. We're going to do very familiar poses and probably sequences for most of you. But the idea is to appreciate the stability and be ready to notice the progress you may have made over time where you are today. So let's begin, ladies. Go ahead, unfold your legs, shake out, stretch out, loosen up those hips, ankles, and knees. And then come around onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers wide, press down through the fingertips and the four corners of the palms, and begin cat and cow. As you inhale, let your chest soften down, your chin lift. Exhale and round up. Inhale down, exhale up. Now, the first repetitive part of any yoga practice is the ujjayi breath, what these ladies are doing right now. It's breathing in and out through your nose, not your mouth. So even the exhale is through the nose. The inhale and the exhale are equal in length. So you don't gulp the air in and then let it go. It's the same amount of time for the inhale as the exhale. And the breath is a little slower so that you can be conscious of it and it will deepen. So every practice, that breath is almost like a metronome or a tide washing in and out from the beginning, this first postures they're doing warm-ups, all the way till you enter Shavasana at the end where you release the breath, final relaxation. Good. One more inhale down, ladies, and then as you exhale, twist to look over your right shoulder and widen your right hip. So look wide and widen the right hip, and then look left and widen the left hip. So you're making a little C shape with the body. Over to the right again, C to the right, and C to the left. Yep, that's it. So Karen, when you go right, resist to the right. Yeah, that's it, good. And there we go. So stretching out the sides of the body, maybe a little less familiar movement, but if we're going forward and back, opening front body, back body, it would probably be a good idea to open the sides as well. So side ribs want to expand when we breathe as well. All right, come back to center. Walk your hands about one hand length further forward. Curl your toes under and lift up to downward facing dog. And just pedal out your feet. Take a little walk, alternate bending and straightening each knee. Just starting to wake up the legs, feel that stretch move down the calves into the heels, maybe hamstrings as well, upper thigh. And then bending both knees at the same time, look back at your knees, line up your shin bones, so two parallel lines. In other words, knees are ankle width apart, not narrower, not wider. So your knees are a little bit narrow. Yeah, there we go. And your feet could be a little narrower. Let's do that. So about 3 or 4 inches between your big toes here, knees and ankles tracking over feet. Good. So bend the knees again so that you can line them up well. And then as you straighten your legs, try to keep the knees ankle width apart, not letting them bow in. So repetition, but also little things to notice that you may have neglected. Karen, your fingers could be spread more, especially left hand. Great. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, lower down either to your knees or all the way to mat, depending on your strength. And then slide the hands. Well, let's do cobra first, a couple rounds. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to cobra and hold. Now, just like practice can be repetitive, so can our common misalignments. So, Deborah, you have a tendency in cobra and up dog to let your heels roll apart. So can you bring your legs more parallel and spread your toes? This is super common. So you feel the difference? So we just did that whole thing on the feet. So spread your toenails like you're clicking your toenails into the mat, and that will realign the whole lower leg. There we go. And now back to down dog. So no matter how many times we repeated something, the gift of having a teacher put eyes on you. As a teacher, I need people looking at me, is because we can point out that not all of your habits of repetition are healthy. You might be actually unconsciously misaligning and doing something over and over again, which is going to lead not to progress, but to regression or stagnation. All right, one more time, come forward into plank. Now, both of you ladies, when you lower down, you have a tendency to pike your hips up in the air. So let's go to plank. Yes, scoop your tailbone. That's the opposite. This is tailbone. Yep. Come forward into a full plank now. So there you go. Keep the tailbone scooped as you lower down. So you may need to go to your knees. It takes more. That's it, Karen. Beautiful, guys. Good. Inhale, curl up to cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. All right, bending your knees, walk your feet forward. Place your hands on your hips and come up to stand. All right, let's take a little stretch so you can turn to face the front of the room. Arms up overhead, hook your thumbs, reach up and over to the right. So press down through both feet and reach up and over to the right. Keep the weight grounded on both feet. So tendency will be to sink into the left foot. So root down through, sink into the right foot. So root down through the left leg and foot as you reach up through your right fingertips. So it's not repetition, blind repetition, if you're paying attention, taking in cues, and scanning the body to make everything as close to balanced as possible. Up and over to the left. Now when you shift to the left, make sure that the right leg stays rooted and the left fingertips are actively extending. So even though it's an asymmetrical pose, our actions are balanced, both sides of the body working. Good. Inhale, back up. Exhale, turn to face each other again. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Bring your elbows on diagonals, not all the way out, not all the way in, and then plug the arms into the sockets. So that means elbows a little narrower, and we plug in, yes. So the head of the arm bone goes into the shoulder socket. Then curl back, head, neck, and chest, gaze up. Now, when you do this, the tendency will be for the hips to pop forward. These ladies are doing really well. But can you just misalign for a moment, show everybody what it means like to throw your hips forward and not arch your upper back? Yes. So this is what happens often when we try to back bend. The habit of the body is to hinge in the waist. We want to stabilize the belly and curl just the upper spine. And then the hands are keeping the other common misalignment from happening, which is that most people just flop their head back. So the head presses into the hands, but the hands resist into the head. Now you can keep the head where it is, but stretch your arms alongside your ears and reach for your fingertips. Yeah, so extend the arms alongside the ears now, ladies. There we go, good. Yeah, now if the head has gone back a little too far and the arms are not alongside the ears, again, the neck is overworking. Yes, beautiful adjustment, Karen. Yes, so her shoulder's a little tight, so she won't be able to get her arms all the way back. But what she is not doing is this, flopping back, right? So again, we do so many things repetitively in yoga. And if you've ever heard the acronym in physical therapy, you can release your arms down. I'm sorry, ladies. RSI, it stands for repetitive stress injury, meaning like the first time that you let your neck flop back, no problem. But if you keep doing that and doing that and doing that, you may very well compress the vertebra in the back of the neck, right? And weaken the spine. So the strain comes from repetition. So make sure that the actions that you do repetitively are helping your body, not hurting. It means slowing down your practice. It may mean doing modifications, easier forms of poses. So when I was showing the ladies how to adjust their hips, lowering down, so when I said, you know, you guys have your butts up in the air like this, you need to lower down with a straighter spine. We're not going to try that in full chaturanga because it's too much weight. So you just lower the knees, make it easier until your body understands and has the strength and awareness to do the modification. So never be afraid to back off and realign in order to get more out of your practice. Okay, let's come forward. We're going to do a few sun salutations, and spoiler alert, the point is that the first one you will probably be more aware than the third, fourth, or fifth. Right? So you can take your shirt if you're warm now. So just be aware that the body goes on automatic. The minute something is repeated, we tune out. So I'm going to ask you guys to be as present as possible through the whole set, and I will try to give you those little wake-up calls. All right, so we're going to circle the arms out and up, arms up overhead, Surya Namaskar A. Exhale, arms out to the sides and down, or if you, all the way down to the floor, side bow forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot back, keeping the knee off the mat, so low lunge. Inhale the left foot back to meet the right. And then exhale, you can either lower to your knees or come straight down, but straight as a board. Nice. Inhale, curl up to upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Exhale, left foot forward and bow. Inhale, circle arms out and up. Good. So just pause for a moment. So that was number one. They're new to me. They didn't know which variation I was going to do, so they were all attention. Second one, my guess is that your minds are going to wander, so we're going to stay present. So inhale, reach the arms out and up. This is for you, not for me. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left foot back, keeping the knee off the mat, nice and strong. Exhale, right foot back to meet the left, plank pose. Come forward, hips are not piked up, you're straight as a board. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga or to the knees, nice, beautiful. Inhale, up dog, and Deborah, hug those ankles in, spread your toes, yes. Exhale, back down dog. Teaching gets easier after a while because, as I said, people's patterns repeat, right? Their habits repeat. So I wouldn't even have to be looking at Deborah to give her that cue because she's new to me today, but we've already found a spot, right? So this makes teaching kind of easy. All right. Left foot forward to meet the right. Exhale, right foot forward and bow. Inhale, circle arms out and up, reach for the sky. We're still paying attention. Exhale, take it down all the way to the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, right foot back, left foot back, plank pose. Hold the plank for just a moment, and we're just going to play with where the weight is in this pose. So on the inhale, slide your weight forward so there's more weight in your hands. That's a typical alignment here. Now, keeping the hips still in plank, nice and low, shift your weight back into your heels. Whoops, don't pike up. Just go forward and back like a little soft. Inhale, come forward toward the hands. Exhale, press back into the heels. So just a little bit different strength going on here and a little bit of awareness. One more time, inhale forward, exhale back. Good. Now keeping the weight even on 2 hands and 2 feet, lower down chaturanga or all the way. Inhale, curl to up dog or cobra if you don't have the strength for up dog today. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale. So I would keep the back foot parallel on these for today. Thank you. Exhale, left foot forward and bow. Inhale, circle arms out and up. Reach. Exhale, bow forward again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, left foot back. Inhale, right. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's just pause in down dog. So we've done, I don't know, a dozen down dogs already this morning. Yeah, you're feeling it. Just notice how this down dog feels different from the first one you did. So when I'm talking about repetition and progress, I don't just mean over a week or a month or a year or 10 years. I mean within a single practice, repeating a pose is the greatest way to feel your progress. So you guys are probably feeling a little more heat, maybe a little fatigue, but also a little bit more mobility, a little bit of release through the back of the legs, a little bit maybe more ease in the shoulders. I'm going to let you come down in a moment, but this is just a check-in time to feel the difference that comes through repetition. Now lower down onto your knees. We're going to take a wide-legged child. Bring your big toes together, open up your knees nice and wide, and then walk forward on your fingertips. Fingertips, Karen, if you can. And stay up on the fingertips, and then slide your hips back toward your heels. Don't go all the way down. Yes, nice. So a little active recovery here. So they've been on their arms for a while. This is to get length through the sides of the torso, but also to open front and back body, which is why we're not collapsing down into child pose, but keeping a little lift. Lift up, walk over on a diagonal to the right, and pull back. So you're going to feel a little extra stretch on your left side. Beautiful. Nice form, guys. Great. Breathing in, breathing out. Remember the breath, the steadiness, the baseline of your practice. An even inhale and exhale. Come back through the center, walk over to the left so you feel more stretch in your right side. Beautiful. Okay, back to center. Great. All right, let's bring the knees and feet together and just do another little cat and cow. So repetition throughout the practice today. Highly recommended you do this on your own in your practice. Return and feel now that the spine is probably a lot more noodly, bendy, fluid than it was in the first round of these. So appreciate the power of just a few minutes of practice to create a deep shift in the body. All right, and then as we did in the beginning, before you lift up, walk your hands one hand length further forward. Curl your toes under, stretch back to down dog. Good. And on the inhale, step the left foot forward, right foot forward and bow. Inhale, circle arms out and up. And exhale, bow forward again. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step the right foot back into low lunge and pause. Slide your hands back alongside your front ankle. Good. Now, Karen, you might want to go, actually, both of you a little bit, well, sorry, Deborah, a little longer stride, Karen, back foot parallel. Good. Now, hands are alongside your front ankle, not out in front of you. Come up on your fingertips so that you can soften your heart. You're not in a rounded spine. So arch the back. Yeah, good. Now, wake up the back leg by spreading the toes and without actually moving the foot, dragging it away from you. Good. And then pulling it towards you. Good. Now, hands onto your front thigh, come up to balance. Nothing like balance to bring the awareness to the moment. Karen, yeah, can you stay in lunge? And now arms up overhead, fingers interlaced, palms to the ceiling. Yeah, so fingers interlaced and palms turn up. Good. Hold and breathe. Yes, palms up. Okay, that's it. I got you. So, Now fingers interlaced, turn your, okay, one thing at a time. Yeah, I'll help stabilize you. Yep, I know, it's hard to get somebody to gaze out here. The brights are light. Good, now can you interlace your fingers, bend your elbows and turn your palms upward? Yes, like that. That's it, a little deeper shoulder stretch. So something new for you guys, yeah. All right, good. All right, exhale, release your arms down by your sides and step back to down dog. And notice how great it feels to be in a symmetrical pose after a long hold on one side. Inhale forward again, exhale lower down. Inhale curl up cobra or up dog. Exhale back down dog. Good. And now, where are we? Right foot or left foot? Right, thank you. Right foot forward. Repetition does this to us. Walk the hands back along either side of the front ankle. Pull the feet toward each other, soften your heart down. So Karen, really, get that upper back to melt as best it can. I know it's hard in the middle of winter. Okay, hands down, step forward and back. Oh, sorry, high lunge, arms up overhead. See, there goes my monkey mind away from repetition. Fingers interlaced, palms up. Beautiful. Good job, guys. Steady gaze at a point down the tip of your nose. Breathing in, breathing out. And I'm going to challenge you. Can you come up off the back heel? Yep, I know, it's tricky. All right, exhale, hands down, bow forward, step forward and bow. Stay in the standing forward bend for a moment. Now, this is probably a new one for you, but why not? Step your feet a little wider apart. Wrap your arms, I'm going to turn my back to you guys. Wrap your arms around behind your back, cross your wrists, slip your hands through to hold opposite shins. I know, it's complicated. And then, so you're going to cross the wrists behind you and go out. There, and then cross like this, hold the front of the shins. There we go. And then slowly straighten your legs to get a deeper stretch without jamming the back of your knees. If there's tension in your neck and head, just shake your head no, and nod yes, and release. Sorry, release your head, neck, and chest, not the pose. Okay, hands to hips, come all the way up to stand. Warm-up is done. Yeah, whew. So that could be, by the way, a standalone practice. I'll have a whole sequence of session on different practices you can do. But if you only had 10 or 15 minutes, a little cat and cow, down dog, and then around, like we did maybe 6 sun salutation. It's a full body practice, right? You could do a little shavasana, you're out, you're done. We're not done. So, because we're in repetition mode today. So step your feet, turn to face the front and step your feet wide enough apart for warrior 2. So Karen, you got to go longer on those standing poses. Yep. Now turn your right toes out, bend your right knee, and extend your arms out at shoulder height, gaze to the right middle finger. Warrior 2. Very familiar pose for most of you. First one, not going to give a lot of detail. I just want them to find their way into the pose in a way that is familiar. So remember, familiar, stable, stability. What we know, what feels safe. Good. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, reverse the feet, go down, warrior two, second side, gazing to the left. Good. Yeah, and Deborah's demonstrating the full form of the pose, which is, no, it's what I want you to do, and it's rare. What I want to point out is that her front thigh is parallel with the floor, front knee over the front ankle. So this front leg to a right angle is something very few people have the strength or flexibility to manage. You can see Karen is in a more familiar form, which is slightly modified, no problem. But over time, if you have the mobility and strength, this is the full form of the pose. So again, you can progress. I bet the first time Deborah did this, she didn't have the strength to do this. Maybe she had the flexibility, but this is quite a workout here. Okay, up through the middle, over to the first side again. Repetition, second side. Now, second time, usually a little easier, although you might feel a little fatigued because you've already done it once. So if you're doing repetitions, maybe you hold things a little less time. This time, I want them to wake up the legs by pulling the feet energetically toward each other. No actual movement, we're just hugging in. This is to wake up the back leg. Back leg in every pose tends to disengage a bit, so we're evening that out by sweeping the feet toward a place in the middle, underneath the spine. Good. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reverse the feet. Take it around to side two. So first time I did a pose, I didn't really give them much instruction. Second time, I'm like, well, why don't we in some details? So again, pulling the feet toward each other in this case is waking up legs, but especially the back leg. Good. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reverse the feet. One more time, warrior two. This time I'm being very random, but I'm just choosing things to focus on as a tool for your own practice. When you're at home doing poses, you know, shift your practice around, your awareness around. This time we're going to bring the awareness to the shoulders. Turn your palms up and allow your shoulders to roll open. Chest opens, collarbones lengthen. Now keeping the shoulders open, turn your palms down. Okay, so we've just woken up something in the upper circuit of the body, just as important as what's happening in the legs. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reverse your feet. Go down to side two. And same thing, turn the palms up, roll the whole arm bone open. Keeping the upper arms rolling open, let the palms flip down. Good, so it's just the form hasn't changed, but the awareness and the action is completely different. Inhale, back up. Exhale, turn your feet parallel, hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen upward, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. And grab hold of your big toes. Pull up on your toes and lengthen down through the top of your head. Now again, if you're really bendy, like Deborah, if the head touches the floor easily, walk your feet in a little closer because you don't want to compress the spine as you lower down. Karen's in a more modified form. This is typical of most of us, tight hamstrings and calves, lifestyle habits, genetics, aging, all that. So she's going to hold a little closer. If you can't hold your big toes at all, no worries. Just put your fingertips on the mat or even put your hands on blocks. So over time, there may be progress. You may also regress. If you had a surgery or just had a baby or you've been sick, you might be a little stiffer. You take a modified form. Repetition is a guide, okay? And progress is not always linear. We're not always moving forward. We have regressions. We hit plateaus. That's all part of practice. That's part of life. Okay, hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen upward. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale up to stand. Exhale, step your feet toward each other and shake out. Okay, we're going to just do one more standing pose and then let you guys have some rest. So if you would turn to face the front of the room for tree pose, feet are parallel. Now the first thing I'm going to do is ask you to lift your left foot up, and most people will lift their right leg because they're used to that. So lift your left foot up, hug the shin, stand tall, root down through the four corners of the right foot. Steady gaze. And then when you're ready, place the left foot on the inner right thigh or calf or ankle, but not right on the knee. Good, so Karen's got ankle and palms in prayer. Got it? Yep, good job, I got you. Okay, all right, no worries, yes. Now, a couple things that can help stabilize this pose, which you might not be familiar with. Press the raised foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot, and then press palm into palm. So gathering the energy around the midline, super stabilizing. Have a whole practice in our archives on hugging the midline. This is what I mean. Great. Release down. Shake it out. Bring the knee to the middle. Shake it out. Lower down. Shake out. All right, and then second side. So standing tall, right leg comes up, hug the shin toward you first. Steady your gaze, get oriented, soften your face, breathe, and then open the knee, place the foot on the inner thigh or the calf or the ankle, just not right on the knee, please. Not good for the knee joint. And then palms in prayer. So very flexible people often have more trouble with stability. Sometimes the flexibility is in our bodies, which makes balancing poses very therapeutic. Sometimes the mobility is in the brain, right? If you have an active mind that's always wandering, a steady practice is the best thing you can do for yourself. Go into what you know. Wandering minds like variety, they need stability and repetition. All right, come back to center, knee to the middle, lower it down, shake out. All right, good job, ladies. Let's come down to sit and then come to lie down on your backs. And let's just do one bridge pose. So lying on your backs. Knees bent, feet parallel, arms by your sides. Good. Lift and spread your toes. Turn your palms up, raise your hips up, interlace your fingers underneath your back and take a bridge. Roll your shoulders closer together. Now, one habit here that a lot of us have is to flatten the neck by bringing the chin to the chest. I'd like you to tip your head back, open your throat, and press the back of your head gently into the mat. So again, you can repeat something over and over again, weaken the muscles of the neck, or you can build strength in the muscles in the back of the neck by opening the throat. Simple hack, huge difference. All right, then release your arms, release down, hips to the floor, feet a little wider apart, windshield wipers, sway the knees side to side. Great. All right, then back to center. Stretch your legs down along the floor. Raise your arms overhead toward the floor behind you and take a full body stretch, 2 legs, 2 arms, everything even, front body, back body. And then release into Shavasana. So release your arms down by your sides, let your feet roll apart, adjust your body so that it's comfortable, so that you don't have to think about what's going on. Feel what a relief it is to have gravity doing the work of holding you now. It's very hard to fall out of Shavasana. So after coming down from that balancing pose, tree pose, notice what it's like to settle back against the earth. Now, this is the time when most of us, our minds start to wander away from the room. We think, this is just passive time, doesn't matter. This is a conscious relaxation. So one great way to keep this fresh in terms of repetition is to scan the body and make sure that every part of your body is as released and relaxed as possible. So the feet, the soles of the feet are soft, the arches of the feet are relaxed, the ankles are loose, calves and hamstrings are heavy on the floor, the pelvic bones supported by the earth, the organs, internal organs softening down like water to the base of the body, to the back of the body. Chest and throat are open, inner arms are lengthening, fingers are relaxed. Back of the neck released, scalp, and all the muscles of your face. So if you stay present here, don't just slip into repetition, get into habitual thoughts and worries, but make a choice to savor these moments, sweetest part of your day. And now to emerge from Shavasana mindfully, begin to bring your awareness back into your body. Soften and deepen your breath. Wiggle fingers and toes, awakening the edges of the body. Roll your head from side to side, back to center. And then eyes closed and head heavy, roll to your right side and rest there. And press back up to a seated position. Take a moment, feel the gifts of this practice. What did you learn? Maybe some new tricks about where to place your hands and feet in down dog or up dog. Maybe little tricks about hugging the midline in tree pose, or where the weight is on your feet and standing forward bend. Anything that occurred to you that became special that made this practice not the same as the one you did yesterday, not the one you'll do tomorrow. We never step into the same river twice. Each practice is an opportunity for learning and growing. Hands in front of your heart, prayer position. Thank you, ladies, for demonstrating, and namaste to you all. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. If you'd like to find out more about me and my yoga offerings, please visit my website, which is loisnesbityoga.com. If you missed an episode, you'd like to replay an episode, or you want to weave some of these practices into your daily routine, please check out the archived episodes. You can find them on my yoga channel on YouTube, which is Lois Nesbit Yoga. They're also available on the LTV East Hampton website, which is ltveasthampton.org, and the LTV YouTube channel, which is LTV East Hampton. See you next time.
LTV's programming is made possible by the New York State Council on the Arts, with the support of the Office of the Governor and the New York State Legislature.